Okay, what's number 18? A deal isn't done no matter how confident you are. Do you know, I had one of these recently. I was selling a property. By the way, going off at a slight tangent, are we now living in fairly uncertain economic times? Yes. Do we think there might be a recession coming? Yes. Who doesn't think there's a recession coming? Show me your hand. Good. It's definitely coming. I don't know when. Might be the end of this year, might be the beginning of next year, who knows? It's definitely happening. But I was looking on my phone at the news today, and the Bank of England have actually warned that we're going into very difficult economic times, they say. I mean, we all know that, but that's their warning for Joe Public, that the recession's on its way. So is now a good time to actually look at things like your portfolio and to trim it potentially and make sure that everything's ready for the downturn? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm selling a couple of properties out of my portfolio, which are okay, but they're not the best properties, so I thought now's the time to actually do that. And it was all done and dusted, and we were about to get there when suddenly, unfortunately, the buyer's father died, and he had to go off to Pakistan to arrange his father's funeral, and he's never come back. These things happen, don't they? So deals are never done until they're done. Anything can happen. It could be that you lose the finance. It could be, although using JV finance is great, but have there been times when people have had JV finance lined up, for example, and the JV partners pull the finance at the last minute? Can that happen? Yeah, absolutely. Can the vendor change their mind? Absolutely, that can happen. Maybe, in some extreme circumstances, you may just find a better deal and you want to drop out anyway. That can happen as well. But it's just one of those things to be aware of, because when it does happen, and if you're in property long enough, and if you buy enough properties, or if you sell enough properties, something will happen. You just need to be prepared for it. Because things do happen in property, and I think the people who struggle the most are the ones who kind of assume in a sort of a Pollyanna kind of way that everything's always going to be good. You've got to be slightly cynical, haven't you, in most things, because things rarely actually work the way we'd like them to. There's usually a way to get there, but it doesn't usually work as smoothly as we'd like it to. And property is the same. Property isn't necessarily easy. The principles are simple, but it's not necessarily easy. I hope you found this video useful and informative, and if you did, then please come over to my website, www.thepropertyteacher.co.uk, where you'll find loads more great property-related resources, including free special reports to download, and my best-selling series of ebooks, which includes the Successful Property Renovators Workshop, 63 common defects in investment property and how to spot them. And if you're just starting out in property, or if you want to grow your portfolio, you may be particularly interested in the Successful Property Investors Strategy Workshop, in which I'll take you through exactly how I started and built my property portfolio, starting literally with none of my own money, and how I built a portfolio of £2 million worth of property in just 4 years. And that was starting from scratch. I'll take you through everything that I did right so that you can copy me and do the same. And I'll also show you everything that I did wrong so that you can avoid the mistakes that I made, and so that you can progress in property and be far more successful far more quickly than I ever was. And this is based upon my own real life experience, and it took me about 4 years to actually work out how to do property investing properly. But in the 200 pages in the Successful Property Investors Strategy Workshop, I'm going to show you all of that 4 years knowledge condensed down so that you can use it immediately. And until next time, here's to successful property investing.